Hello, my name is Rachel, and I am the Thrifty Crocheter. And today is Thursday, the second day of January. 365 days of kindness. January 2nd, the right filter. Their purpose is to teach people to live disciplined and successful lives and to help them do what is right, just, and fair. Proverbs 1:3. When we face moral dilemmas in our life and seemingly choose the right thing, it doesn't always feel or look successful. These are the dilemmas that make us choose humility over pride, putting putting someone else first, or simply standing back and not trying to defend ourselves. It takes a great amount of personal strength and discipline to do what is right. But does that always equate to things being just and fair? Wisdom doesn't mean you always have to come out looking like the loser. Sometimes being fair means that you have to call someone else out on their dishonesty and remove a negative person from a team for the sake of the greater good. The next time you run into a dilemma of this kind, run it through the wisdom filter of doing what is right, just, and fair. The best outcome is feeling successful because you were confident that what you have decided was right. Act of kindness. Write an encouraging scripture and leave it on someone's desk. That, I think, is a wonderful idea. Daily guidepost for grandmothers. January 2nd. All scripture is inspired by God and is profitable for teaching. I'm trying to. My pages want to stick together. Excuse me. My pages are sticking. I was stuck in a hospital bed recuperating from surgery. The previous patient, a little girl, had left her coloring book and crayons. When I couldn't take any more television, I picked up the coloring book. This might sound strange, but I loved coloring the drawings of cats, and when I'd finished the book, I wished there were more. You know what? I secretly like to color too. I still like to color in coloring books too. How many out there, whether you admit it or not, you still like to color? There's a little kid in you that still likes to color. Anyway, back to the story. This might sound strange, but I loved coloring the drawings of... Okay, I just read that part, sorry. Back to the television, I thought. But then one of my daughters dropped in. I showed her the book, said how much fun I'd had with it, and told her I was sorry to be finished with it. Well, Mom, maybe you're not quite finished with it. She pulled a pocket Bible from her purse. Let's find an appropriate scripture for each picture, a verse that expresses its feeling. Now, that's an interesting idea. We started with a picture of two kittens lapping up milk and wrote, God shall surely supply all your need. We had a wonderful time, and afterward I wished I'd played this game with my children long before. So, I'll have to play it with my grandchildren when they get a little older. Then they'll soon learn how to use the Bible, and they'll also learn how to look for these true feelings in life's little moments. And so will I. Father, please show me new ways to bring your word to light. Marion Bond West. You know what? This kind of reminds me of some of the coloring books I have. They are scriptural ones. They're still adult coloring books. They have scriptures in them that you color, and then I've added them to my notebook. So to me, that definitely helps bring scripture to brings it to life. You know, for somebody who's looking at it, and then it helps provoke conversations better. In my opinion, illustrated words of Jesus for women. Okay. Yep. Priorities. What good is it for someone to gain the whole world and yet lose or forfeit their very life? Luke 9:25. This verse issues a challenge to honestly examine your life. You may confidently say, God is most important in my life, of course, but is it really true? Think about how much you spend your time and energy every day. Is time with God the first thing pushed aside when life is busy? Does the focus to earn more money or accumulate more stuff or gain a higher position take precedence? If knowing, loving, and serving God is really most important, then spending time with Him, getting to know Him better, and studying His Word should be your priority. If it isn't, confess it now and ask God's forgiveness. Make Him your number one priority. Dear Father, I have often spoken the words that you are the most important thing in my life. But I confess that there are times when my behavior does not bear out the conviction of those words. Forgive me, Father. Help me to get my priorities in line and give you the place of honor in my heart. As a matter of fact, for today's 2025 Bible reading, and I already did read them this morning, in Genesis chapters 3 and 4, Matthew chapter 2, and Psalm chapter 2. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor, and that shall rule my people Israel. Matthew 2:6. The Jewish leaders, in answering King Herod's question, were quoting the prophet Micah, who predicted Jesus' birth and birthplace more than 700 years earlier. You can be sure that when God makes a promise, He'll keep it. And He definitely did that. Because in Matthew, He doesn't talk about this is when the wise men come and seek the Lord. And King Herod isn't too fond of the idea of somebody else taking his place, so he decides to go kill all the baby boys. But the angel came to the wise men and told him to go a different way on the way back. And he also went to Joseph in a dream and had them to move to Egypt till King Herod died, and so to save them. And then in Genesis, we have the births of Cain and Abel, and Cain kills Abel because he's jealous. And then Cain goes to God, and he's worried about somebody killing him. Although from what we've read so far, there's just him and his parents, and I don't think his parents are going to be out to kill him. Then he starts a city. It has kids and grandkids and so forth, and builds a city that he names after his own son, which is admirable. But I'm like, okay, first of all, he had to have a wife to have children. Where did this woman come from, and how did we build a city with multiple people? I'd like to know where all these other people came from. And so far, all we've read is there's just him and his parents. I don't know. It's one of life's many. I don't know. There's some other thing. There are just things that I just don't understand. I still don't understand about the Bible. Which, even though I'm 51 years old, be 52 in March, it's still okay to have questions and still try to understand. It's still one of those weird things. You just gotta kind of go with it, I guess. But I just want to wish all of you a wonderful day. And then I hope y'all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And y'all have a good rest of your week. And it's with the weekend coming up that you have a very good weekend. And I love y'all. Bye.